things are staying in place. Chair Lent, thank you for this courtesy and having us in here. I do have to add one thing to what we were talking about, the affordability of community colleges. One community college where I was a president one time. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say. I'm Greg South, the interim president at North Idaho College. Please forgive me. Anyway, about the affordability of community colleges, we had students with this one young lady who wanted to transfer and get a degree in biology and go to med school. We actually had her do a commercial for us. She put her first 2 years in doing it with us, and she was sitting on the hood of this used BMW she bought, and she said, with the money I saved, I was able to buy this car to go to med school. So we are really the affordable education out there. And on that, I think a key piece of that affordability is that not everybody needs a bachelor's degree. Transfer is certainly an important mission, and there's many, the key differentiator between a community college and a junior college is that we have those 5 mission elements. I'm here to talk about career and technical education. And it is an interesting world in which we live. In India, 1/4 of the population has bachelor's degrees. That's more people in India with a bachelor's degree than we have people in this country with any degree. And 1/4 of them have graduate degrees that most of them trained in this country. So service sector jobs are outsourced over there. Manufacturing jobs to a highly skilled workforce in China, the same kinds of things, because it's so much less expensive. And we can try to bring some things back when they can do it for 6 or 8 cents on the dollar compared to what we can do. Some things it's hard to bring back. But the things that we cannot replicate are the non-fungible boots on the ground skill sets. And that is a key differentiator of a community college. And all of us do excellent work in the state providing for the workforce training of our population. So we get our police officers, our firefighters, our nurses, our welders. And just a couple examples of that are, well, for example, our place, I don't know if you know, but we have the Parker Career and Technical Center. It's one of the best in the country, in my opinion. And but a program I thought was particularly interesting and apropos in this area was we have a unique industrial mechanic, along with over 100 other offerings, but we have an industrial mechanic / millwright program where they come out and they make $27 an hour to start, and within 3 years they're making $42, $45 an hour. And the skills that are involved in that, they have to be a jack of all trades: welding, hydraulics, electricity, rigging, pipe fitting, mechanical drive, and transmissions. They have to be able to turn a lathe, they have to be able to weld, they have to be able to be an electrician. And our students get hands-on applied experience. But that's just one example of getting real-world experience. We partner with industry partners and provide the training for them. I've participated in other schools in business planting committees when they come to town and they're thinking about locating a business in town, and we take up the task of, okay, we will save you the expense. How can we work together to do your workforce training and train your workers in your factories? And up in our area, we have people that are just some examples of that: Idaho Forest Group, Stinson Lumber, Kaiser Aluminum, and many other partners hire our graduates. We have an advantage of about 90% of our students immediately having a job upon graduation in a career and technical field. And not the least of which is nursing. Our school, we have nearly 100% job placement upon graduation. And we just opened a dental hygiene clinic and graduated our first class last year. Again, more examples. And then in allied health fields, medical technician, surgical technician, rad tech, medical billing specialist. Those are all examples. One big thing that seems to be catching people's attention right now is cybersecurity. And well, we have that. We have that program, that degree, and we're here and happy to be part of that dialogue. And graphic design, culinary arts. If any of you are ever up in the area, please look me up and let's get lunch at our culinary arts program and get a 3 or 5 course meal. But anyway, in law enforcement. So I will, because of time, I will leave it there. And my colleague Dean Fisher, I'll turn it over to him. Thank you for your time. Mr. Chair and committee, I'm Greg South from North Idaho College. My comments, I will keep brief in this section. We have the slide up there. You'll see our total budget. the actual amount that is general fund appropriation. I think we do a pretty good job of funding our school, considering what we get from the general fund appropriation. One thing I want to point out that is our in-district tuition and fees has not increased in 5 years or over 5 years. We are one of the best bangs in the buck. We are one of the best bangs for the buck in the state for education. All of us are. But we've done a good job at holding the line on that. Something that's not included in here that I really want to add that we do is we touch another 10,000 lives. It says 11,071 there, total underserved. We touch over 21,000 lives. With the uniqueness of what we do with the area agency for the aging, it's 10,200 lives we touch with that. Head Start's another 300. But if you look at the amount of money spent, the high level of transfer and dual credit for the size of our institution, I find remarkable. And I just like to say that I think we do a good job. I'm still new, I'm still learning, but I'll keep my comments brief and leave it there. Some of you will probably appreciate that, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the presenters for coming today. I have a question specifically for Interim President South. It's a what and if question. So because the loss of accreditation is really focused around board governance, what is the plan to address that issue? And if NIC loses accreditation, the state board will most likely have to step in to ensure the CTE students are moved to an accredited institution. So if NIC loses accreditation, will NIC leadership work with the board to ensure those students can continue their progress in programs by having access to the equipment at NIC if it's moved under the governance of a different accredited institution?
Of course, but I should mention a couple things. I met with President Rossamjani, I always say his name wrong, the president of the Accrediting Commission, and he cautioned us not to speculate on that we might lose accreditation. We are fully accredited. We will remain fully accredited. If they place us on show cause, what's that mean? That means show us cause and how you're going to fix it. And as long as we demonstrate to them that we're working in that direction, I have confidence that we'll work through this. Now, just as soon as I say that, it is very serious. Things could go wrong, but it won't happen that fast if we went to that process. So it's very premature to go that direction and speculate, and probably inappropriate, because we are fully accredited. Everybody's getting a degree right now. All their classes are fully accredited. It counts, it transfers our programs. So we're not near that yet, and it would take time if that did happen. And there are only 2 schools that I know of that have actually lost their accreditation. One of them was closed. It was for financial issues. Usually, one school I went into as an interim president, we had 14 counts of warning my first day that we were placed on, and we did a Hail Mary and got off all those in a year because we complied with what they were asking for. Now, that may or may not have been happening before I got here. I don't know. But we now have a board that's in a circumstance that they realize how serious the governance issues are. And that's demonstrated by, they're all here. They're here and they're together, and I'd like to just introduce them. So Trustee Wagner down here on the end, Trustee Banducci, Trustee Corkle, Trustee Zimmerman, and the other trustee, our chair had to step out for a minute. But he's here, they're together, and realize that we have to overcome these governance issues. And to that end, I think a part of your question is, we've launched in very quickly to start doing board training, board education. We're having individual meetings with each of them here. Dr. Debbie D. Thomas down on the end, she's part of the team I brought in because the issues with this are serious, there's no doubt. And what we had before wasn't working. And we need people that are heavyweight in the accreditation process. She's been retired vice chancellor, retired community college president. She works with boards specifically with these sorts of issues. We're fortunate to have her here. I also brought in a provost that is also Dr. Peggy Bradford here, who is also another retired college president that's a heavyweight in the accreditation process. I myself have served on, we've all served on many accreditation teams, peer evaluation teams of other institutions. I've done that in 3 different or 4 different accrediting commissions around the country. And we needed to demonstrate to the accrediting commission that we have a leadership team that satisfies that side of their concern. And now the hard work is getting down and solving the problem. When I came in, I said, there's 3 things I want to do. 1, bring the temperature down at the school. 2, get everybody working together. People internally work well together, but the board comporting itself in the fashion the board needs to, but also, and they're very open, they want to know, how do we do this? What do we do? And then also getting the people internally to start working with the board again. And if we can do those things, we'll satisfy the accrediting commission's requirements. But right now, we're fully accredited. It is serious. If we don't do these things, they're looking for us to cooperate. If they don't do those things, we'll move to the next level. And frankly, if they move to the next level, I might actually welcome that, because if we go to show cause, it gives me the leverage to drive things faster, to get things solved. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, ma'am? Thank you.
What is your percentage of completion as far as a whole for your degrees and certification programs and that type of thing? If you know that off the top of your head. If not, you can tell me, you'll get back to me. But I was just curious, because I find the 98% that you gave for kids that are going to CWI or any of the other colleges, that's very commendable. I think you're doing a great job of getting our kids that are here staying here. But I'm just curious on those 3 things. And again, however you want to address those is fine by me.
I would just like to add to that.
President, would you please introduce yourself when you come up?
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot. Greg South,
Okay.
North Idaho College. But again, to Senator Nichols' question, 23%, that's the average. But that's deceptive at this level, because that's not the only way we measure completion. Somebody wants to become a welder, they come and get a welding certificate and they're gone in a semester. Now, we do things like multiple stackable certifications, micro certifications, so that they can come back the second semester and get an underwater or a confined space and make significantly more money and hopefully work them towards a degree. But a lot of the things we do, especially with workforce training, they don't involve getting a degree, but they complete their goals. But it's not reflected in that 23% level. And I wager to say that when all that's factored in together, we probably have a higher completion rate than most schools in this state with our community colleges. That's all I had to say.